This GEO 10 week is bringing together more than 700 delegates from around the world to partake in technical site events where we're talking very specifically about some key issues, where heads of agencies will spend a couple days talking about guidance for the future, and culminating on Friday where ministers will come together and talk about the next 10 years for the Group on Earth observations.
The U.S. has been extremely supportive of GEO. It's a unique partnership of partnerships that brings together an extremely broad international community to support the sharing of observations that we make on our own planet, on our resources, and putting them into a data platform that all countries, all participants can use. So I think what's really exciting is the passion and enthusiasm that's really been driven from the scientific community to bring together this incredibly powerful network of observational systems.
We're here in Geneva to focus the incredible investments in Earth observations on some of the most pressing challenges of the 21st century.
GEO itself is bringing all the countries that have an interest in geospatial assets and remote sensing and monitoring and data gathering, brings them together to share experiences, to compare and contrast their data sets, and really to be building a global partnership with information that allows us to make decisions. The GEO-GLAM effort, again, it's a global agricultural monitoring system, is giving us a chance to look at what is happening in developing countries as well as developed, to be able to compare the crop production across all those countries. It helps influence U.S. policy, it influences global policies around on agriculture.
The reason why as South Africa we are interested in GEO is that we see benefits for ourselves as a country. When GEO started, one of the things that GEO did was developing GEO Net Cost. In other words, getting Earth observation information broadcast using cheaper methods to local community, and we took advantage of this and we made sure that our farmers were getting benefit of the information.
We are living on a planet which we can best observe if we look at it from a distance, and this observation from the space is when we see clearly that we are living on one single fragile planet. We are currently 7 billion, we will soon be 9 billion. The ecosystems are already under stretch, and if we don't start collaborating and if we don't address those issues as issues where humanity should join the forces, we will not be able to tackle them. Using the data from the space, using the enormous quantity of data would be the best how we can join forces to jointly address the major societal challenges which we are facing together.
It is the ability to make measurements of the Earth from the vantage point of space that has enabled us essentially to understand the Earth as an integrated system.
So what we're looking at here is actually a depiction of sea surface temperature. This is the temperature at the surface of the ocean as depicted by computer models using data from satellites. And so warmer colors on the map are sort of showing warmer relative temperatures at the sea surface, and cooler colors, the blues and the greens, are showing cooler temperatures.
10 years ago, the international community was collecting data about the Earth, but not really sharing it as well as they could. And we, the United States, and our partners internationally agreed 10 years ago that we should be sharing it. And this process is designed to facilitate that. We led by example in 2007 by releasing the Landsat Archive, the largest collection of land cover data in the world, which is now in over millions of users are using. And the Europeans followed suit, Japan, the rest of the world began following suit. So now we have moved from a default of closed data to a default of open data. And this is a priority for the Obama administration, both domestically and internationally.
It is a very exciting time because we're only scratching the surface on beginning to understand the relationship between things like weather, ecosystem, human health, animal health. And by getting data that enables us to visualize change, we can start seeing that there are patterns that we previously didn't understand.
We need to use our large data resources in order to be able to understand the world around us. So having open access to data from many different sources is really important for our ability to advance this understanding.
What's unique about GEO is that it's an opportunity to volunteer information, make it available to the public, share it collaboratively, and at USAID we consume that information for the problems that we're trying to address.
We're happy to be at GEO because part of the nature of this whole system requires some open data and open sharing principles. So one of the things we're really working on is trying to make that open data sharing policy relevant for health applications, and in this case for building a system to reduce the risk from cholera and eventually save lives.
Within GEO, there in fact is a task called Blue Planet. And Blue Planet, I think, is self-explanatory. It's about the ocean. We see this as a very critical component of GEO, and I think GEO does too.
So ocean acidification is what's happening to our world's oceans' waters. The actual chemistry is changing as a result of the rising levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We're interested in being here at the Group on Earth Observations because we still have not really tapped into the potential for using satellite applications for looking at ocean acidification in our world's oceans.
A core of GEO and GEOS is the free and open exchange of available data, and the U.S. has always been at the forefront of making all of our Earth observing data open and available to everyone.
If the data that's generated from these amazing Earth observation systems was collected at taxpayer expense, all taxpayers should have access to that information.
It's public money, supporting public data, supporting public services. And at the end of the day, it's the people, the citizens that benefit.
We share a finite planet, and the ability to share information with each other just makes everyone's decisions better. And so I think something like GEO is critically important because it means that decision makers are going to be put in an environment where they're more likely to make wise decisions.